Yeah, I heard Joe last week. That's one pathetic motherfucker, bro. He just an old head looking to stay relevant, so he climbs on the back of his nephews to try to drag him back into the spotlight. Joe, you're soft. You've been soft. You're a bitch. Plain and simple. I don't know what Jason Parker's cooking up for Nitro. I don't give a damn. We are the Las Vegas Connection, better now than we ever been because bitch-ass nobodies like you and the Coles are gone now.
As the leaves start falling down and the shadows above return, I can finally see you now.
It's the triumphant return of the Little Dragon. We saw him compete during the Rookie of the Year tournament. He was injured by Franky Omega Jr. And last week, the Little Dragon returned to exact vengeance on the man who took him out of competition. Here is what the Little Dragon had to say afterward. I'm back for Franky Omega Jr. It's just that simple. I don't know if I could have beaten guys like Takahashi or Ryan Skinner in the tournament, so I was prepared to learn as much as I could. Go back to the academy, train for next year. But Franky parades around here like he's earned something and he wants to actually be in the Beat the Clock Challenge. He hasn't earned anything besides an ass whooping from me. The Little Dragon is motivated to go after Franky Omega Jr. and thankfully for him, he has a forum to do it coming up. Nitro 12 is just around the corner. And we will have 2 episodes of Evolution this week, 2 episodes of Storm, and then Nitro 12 beginning ideally next week, because there's a change coming. I think you all know what I'm talking about. Beautiful combination from Marlon Wright. Wright, also a rookie. He's been getting more and more opportunities. We've seen him teaming with Chris Alexa. Of course, Wright was on the wrong end of the hugest upset of the Rookie of the Year tournament, so he missed out on the knockout stage. But you gotta respect him, and a lot of guys do. He's still keeping at it, still grinding here in GAW, and a lot of guys respect that. The Little Dragon, though, has a point to prove with Franky Omega Jr. watching, and that might do it. The Little Dragon, the cross-leg Samoan driver cover, no. Not quite. Marlon Wright able to survive the Little Dragon. Thinking of something more. Flying in, guillotine choke. The Little Dragon, S-grip underneath the throat. I don't think there's any way Marlon Wright can break his way out of this. The Little Dragon has the left arm trapped as well. He will give up on the submission. Wow, interesting. I thought he might have had it right there. Instead, handspring into the Pele kick. He's going for more offense. It looked like that guillotine was going to be enough. But I wonder if the fact that he's preparing very possibly for a match with Franky Omega Jr., if that's playing in, more moves, more offense, and the Little Dragon showing the aggression that I think a lot of people criticized him about when it came to the Rookie of the Year tournament. I think a lot of people were saying, hey, he's not aggressive enough. He needs to be better. And so I think for the Little Dragon, all of that was very much in his mind, and that leaves only Franky Omega Jr. very possibly in his future. Hey, Coach, I thought about what you said a lot more. I spoke with Dagonite and Alexia. After hearing their thoughts on it, I think Abaddon does have some promise to him. I can see the hidden potential. I'm glad you can see that, champ. And again, I have an idea on how to drag that hidden potential out of that young man so he can be a great asset to Reaper District 7. I'm telling you, Igris, that boy is special. If we could only get someone who has the power to rival a Santanico, but we need something more. Your uncle Franky would have been perfect for the job I have in mind with his intelligence, his mind. With someone like that, for him to shadow Abaddon would be the greatest enforcer in GAW history. I just know it. You know, you say, uncle, it's almost like you're trying to give me the answer without giving me the answer. I think we have just the thing you need. Kendrick Gore. How about this, coach? I'll talk to Jason about it, and I'll try to get Abaddon a match at Nitro against Gore. And after that match, you and Abaddon fall in line. We got a deal? Master Igris, we've got a deal. I will see you and Kendrick at Nitro. Around Nitro time, you always get these wrestlers that have had good seasons but are just looking for that little bit extra. We see it on Storm, most specifically with the GAW Classic, and now, by the way, the Classic just absolutely up in the air with what's going on. But, you know, you see this where wrestlers are just trying to get to that next level. Martina Del Sol is certainly one of those, and you know, we talk about men like Devin Andrews who have had insane schedules. Well, that's Martina Del Sol. 3 matches this season. Yamamoto, Alexia, and Yamamoto again. Can you find a tougher schedule? Does not get any easier for Martina Del Sol because now she's got to deal with former Rise champion Lazzara, 12-4 in her Evolution career. Her only loss this season, Yamamoto back at Bash at the Beach. That was when Moto won the Rise title for the first time. Now Moto carrying that into Nitro, and while we don't know much, I think it's safe to say that Moto and Alexia will be headed to Nitro 12. In fact, we'll be having a couple announcements as it pertains to Nitro coming up here in a little bit. Now we saw that Isis had challenged Lazzara to a match at Nitro. That was after Isis had obliterated Catherine Sakamoto last week. So Lazzara may have plans for the biggest show of the year. We'll just have to see. I think Isis was very, very serious about that. And Isis needs herself a big win as well. That's a woman who at one point challenged for the Rise title, fell short, unfortunately, for her. And so now she's looking to get back to that level, that underground level that saw her become such a desired prospect everywhere she went. Hasn't quite found that gear on Evolution because of the quality of the wrestlers that we have here in GAW. Del Sol and Lazzara get ready to lock up. Talking about Isis, we had our reporter Tiffany Jordan catch up with Isis earlier today, and this one statement in particular was very telling about Isis's mindset. Lazzara going for the cover, first in the match, springboard moonsault. Let's take a listen to what Isis had to say to Tiffany earlier on. Yeah, of course I challenged Lazzara because Lazzara was always fake. Everyone just got behind her because she went out and was honest about her vulnerability or whatever bullshit she said. But it's just because everyone sees themselves in her. Everyone's vulnerable, everyone's weak, just like Lazzara is. But when I go out there and destroy her at Nitro 12, then I show everyone that it's just because they're all in second place. And Isis, baby, is number 1. Martina Del Sol off the Frankensteiner in the quick cover. Lazzara escapes. But that, very telling, as I say, from Isis, because everyone did get so much behind Lazzara, specifically during the Storm Chaser tournament, because Lazzara had the opportunity. She ran through that tournament. She had the opportunity to go up to Storm, whether or not she ended up winning the Storm Chaser tournament, and she decided not to. And I think a lot of people just had a lot of respect for what she did, what she was able to do, and the fact that, you know, she said that she started to struggle because she didn't know that she wanted to leave, and she knew that there was something special in the GAW Academy. So for all we talk about Eddie Hernandez, and rightfully so, the thing is Lazzara is almost as instrumental as getting Evolution to the point it's at. She's a big reason why Isis is here in the first place. Isis was good enough on the underground. She didn't need to go to the GAW Academy. Isis is the sort of woman that would have gone to Friday Night Storm if she had come here to GAW at all. Lazzara is a big reason why Isis is here in the first place. Martina Del Sol, effortless, scaling the ropes, elbow drop, Lazzara out of the way. And now what we have here is two veterans of the GAW Academy. They were in the Academy for a long time, competed in the Storm Chaser tournament together, and now locking up again. These two are friends outside, but they're so competitive, there's no friendship going on here. Lazzara with the moonsault. So given that, I believe that Lazzara could have herself plans at Nitro, and that moonsault will go a long way to putting her there. A statement win for Lazzara, and Martina Del Sol just didn't have quite enough on this occasion. Del Sol will drop to 0-4 on the season, but again, the toughest 0-4 that you could possibly imagine. Hey, cut to the chase. This punk wants to jump me because his feelings are hurt about not being able to compete in a tournament he was never gonna win. Oh, and yeah, I didn't win it either, but I got further than you would have. But since you're so passionate about this, you want your little revenge, I'll give you what you want. I'll give you exactly what you want, and I'll make it grand like I always do. So you just have to accept. I'm sure Jason will be fine with it. See you at Nitro, little gecko. Commissioner Jason Parker, thank you for joining us. I know how busy you've been. I appreciate the time. Anything for you, Nick? Nitro is screaming up on us here, and we still don't know exactly who Igris' opponent will be. Obviously, what's going on with Friday Night Storm, they have so much happening when it comes to their world championship. Can you shed any light on who might be challenging for the Apex title? Nick, you know how Evolution works. We don't hand things out around here. You have to earn your keep, and that's been the case since Evolution began. I've been here for 2 years, and thankfully, all of our champions have understood the basic concept that they don't get to pick their challenges. Just ask Kurt Andrews. So Igris is obviously no exception, and we've got two men who I think have more than earned a chance at our top prize. I know this will make everyone happy, and these two have absolutely earned it. When you look at the quality of opponents that they've beaten, you cannot argue that Max Ultimate and Ramon Gutierrez haven't earned themselves a chance at becoming the Apex champion. So they will fight tonight. They're coming up next, and you can consider that match a #1 contenders match for the Apex title. No one has earned it more than those two guys. It's exactly what we had hoped, and I'm so thankful that it's happening. A #1 contenders match coming up next. But first, let's give you a quick update on how Nitro 12 is shaping up here on Evolution. We saw it earlier on. Mr. Sinister has gotten Abaddon a match against Kendrick Gore of Reaper District 7. And according to Mr. Sinister and Igris, it'll be an Iron Man match. Can't wait to see Abaddon in his massive Nitro debut. Franky Omega Jr. and the Little Dragon will renew hostilities dating all the way back to the Rookie of the Year tournament. Lazzara and Isis, it's been made official. Two veterans of the sport locking horns. The Hollywood Takeover and the Las Vegas Connection. We don't know what that match will be yet. Jason Parker will announce next week. Dagonite and Eddie Hernandez. Hernandez was suspended, he was sent home, but Jason Parker confirmed that Dagonite will be taking on the face of Evolution at Nitro. And of course, the Raw champion Omega Woods will defend his title against Takahashi. That was confirmed earlier on by Jason Parker. And then finally, the tag team championships on the line. Island Nation will go after the Gotti crime family once again. Island Nation, the lineal champions, the Gotti crime family still hold the tag team title belts. That will go down in a Tornado Rules match. All of it and more coming up at Nitro. Seattle ends here for one of these two men, but for the other, the road to immortality begins. A #1 contenders match for the chance to challenge Igris for the Apex Championship, and it seemed improbable at least, if not impossible, that either of these two men would be able to find themselves here. But as Jason Parker alluded to, they have more than earned it. In Ramon Gutierrez's case, 3 wins since February 6th in 1 month wins over Lee Carr, Sam Hunt, and Andrew Wesley. And in the case of Max Ultimate, in that same 5-week time frame, wins over Kurt Andrews, Devin Andrews, and Lars Nightfall. You could not find 6 opponents more challenging, more daunting. And between them, Ultimate and Gutierrez have gone 6-0. Like Jason Parker said, there's no one more deserving. Sports, we bandy about the phrase out of nowhere, in my opinion, far too often. But when it comes to Ultimate and Gutierrez, their incredible runs, I think we can safely say, have come out of nowhere. There is no chance that anyone saw this coming from either of them. But you can't deny where they are. You can't deny what they've done. You can't deny what they've earned. And as I said, the road to immortality truly begins right here for Ramon or Max. Here we go. 10-minute time limit in this #1 contenders match. 2 friends, 2 training partners, men that have been working together, helped each other improve. In fact, it was Max Ultimate who made the initial challenge to Ramon Gutierrez and said, look, we are not good enough right now. We're both in our second years, and what we've done is not good enough. And Ramon absolutely agreed, and that's how we find ourselves here. They're 2 men with very similar approaches, very similar outlooks, I believe. Ramon Gutierrez, traditional luchador, grew up watching the likes of Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero. You know all the legends of Lucha Libre wrestling. Moonsault and a kick out from Ramon. And that's who Ramon grew up watching. Max Ultimate, well, he was just a wrestling fan. You ask him, his favorite wrestler growing up was Edge. And so, you know, I was hanging around with Nick Gray and Max Ultimate, and you know, Nick, being a reporter by trade, he of course, you know, off the record, no cameras were there or anything, but, you know, he just asked Max Ultimate, you know, you're built nothing like Edge. So who were your models when you realized what body type you were going to have when you got into wrestling? And what Max Ultimate said, and I truly believe him, is that he didn't really have any specific person that he modeled his game after, but what he liked about Edge was his tenacity and the way people respected him even after he had made mistakes. He had done things that he wished he hadn't done. But for Max Ultimate, he said that mentality, inside the ring, outside the ring, that was inspirational. And so he said it doesn't matter what I'm built like. The reality is if I can step in that ring, if I can wrestle, then I can do some damage. And that is exactly what we found. Max Ultimate has taken those lessons to heart, and as for Ramon Gutierrez, I believe he feels the same way, but anytime you ask him, the word that always comes up for Ramon is discipline. And that's how he learned, and he learned in a very traditional lucha libre environment, trained in the dojos, the academies of CMLL, the oldest wrestling promotion in Mexico. And that's what he learned, an old school way of thinking, an old school approach to the sport of wrestling. I think that's why these two have become such fast friends. At the end of the day, their cultural upbringing is different. The way they view those lessons are different, but it's a similar mentality, certainly for both men. I want to say friendship goes out the window here, and it's been very respectful so far. I expect it to continue that way. But obviously with so much on the line here, there's no doubt that they're going to do what they need to do in order to grab a win. As they should. Igris is waiting in Seattle for whoever wins this match. Ramon able to take control, but only on one count. Max Ultimate showing that tenacity and that grit. And Ramon Gutierrez back to the strikes. Ramon, one of the top volume strikers in all of GAW. When you look at strikes per match, Ramon Gutierrez near the top of the list. Ultimate able to fight up off the ground. The knife edge chop avoided by Ramon as he watched it sky past him. And Ramon able to take back over. Standing shooting star press from Ramon Gutierrez. And I imagine that we'll see more of that as this match gets deeper in. And again, you can just see the level of respect these men have for each other. We're almost halfway through the 10-minute time limit, and there hasn't been a lot of salvos fired here. Both men are very aware of what the other man can do. And Ramon, speaking of salvo, there's the first big one. Ramon Gutierrez with the bicycle knee strike cover. Max Ultimate kicks out at 2. Ramon has to get back on the offensive, and he will. Ramon Gutierrez has the arm. Dorota incoming. Ultimate fires back with a big-time right, and now Max Ultimate backbreaker. And Ultimate will take to the skies himself. He's got that as part of his game as well. Never forget. Ultimate now cover to recover, and it's only a 1 as we have hit the 5-minute mark, halfway gone in this #1 Contenders match. I didn't expect this contest to be over before 5 minutes anyway. Ultimate with a beautiful drop kick, and Ramon Gutierrez sent out. Now on the outside, Max Ultimate feeling the momentum here, but that drop kick aimed at the head. Ramon Gutierrez back onto his feet, and Gutierrez will head back into the ring. Gutierrez calling Max Ultimate back in. Ultimate will oblige. Again, that's the knowledge and respect. Ramon wants this thing in the ring, and he'll go after the leg, trying to take away the speed of Ultimate. It's a good call, and Ramon, certainly from where he came from, he knows all about trying to take your speed away. Now, Ultimate against the bottom rope, dangerous position in a guillotine. Over the top from a flying Ramon Gutierrez. That was into the throat. We're under 4 minutes to go as Gutierrez goes for the drop kick to the back, aimed perfectly, sight down, and Gutierrez standing shooting star, and another one. An absolute perpetual motion machine is Gutierrez, but the third one Max Ultimate was prepared for. That is the level of knowledge that these men have. Who else would go for 3 standing shooting stars in a row, but Max Ultimate knows that Ramon will. We're still getting 1 counts this deep into a match. It's insane. Ultimate starches him with a big right hand. The fans getting into it. Ramon and now Ultimate going for a more violent solution to this problem. As Ultimate will go into the ground and pound. This is something that he's worked hard to implement into his game, and he's just trying more and more. Now I said again, these men are friends, they're respectful, but they know what's on the line. They know what's coming. Ultimate up top, Max Ultimate with Ramon in the drop zone. Beautiful moonsault, but Ramon got the knees up just barely. I think that might have hurt Ramon as well. That's Max Ultimate's entire body weight plus gravity. He was about 15 feet in the air. Coming down on Ramon Gutierrez. Now Ultimate trying to get the fans back in it, and this is something that I love about Max Ultimate. It's what so many people love about Max Ultimate. Hang on a second, 2.5 left. Ultimate, max damage. Max Ultimate, max damage, but he's got to drag Ramon away from the ropes. Ultimate, it may have hurt him. Max Ultimate hooks the leg. 2 minutes to go. Ultimate, no. Oh my God, I don't know how Ramon was able to deal with that, but Max Ultimate continues the offense, and he has to. With 2 minutes to go, Max Ultimate. Both of these men see Seattle in their future, I believe. But only one can have it. 1 minute 30, 90 seconds as Ultimate still trying to fight, and Ramon Gutierrez fighting off of his back. He narrowly escaped the max damage. Now Ultimate right hand countered, and Ultimate blasted off the apron by Ramon Gutierrez. And now Ramon, what's he gonna do here with just over a minute to go? Now the tactics come in. Max Ultimate circling the ring, 1 minute left. And you gotta think tactically, what are we thinking? Ramon calls him to come back in. Both men face up, and Ramon taking the back. Ramon Gutierrez with a very bizarre modified DDT. But you gotta like it anyway, and Gutierrez, now Gutierrez is taken back over, and it's a great job by him to get Ultimate to the outside to try to force some more blood, try to recover some more air, but as it is, 30 seconds remaining, powerbomb attempt, and Max Ultimate came over the top, sunset flip, only a 1 for Ultimate, as now they're gonna start to get desperate, and they absolutely need to with 20 seconds remaining. What do they do? Ultimate springboard moonsault. Gutierrez was out of the way, and now Gutierrez might have an opportunity. Neck breaker with 10 seconds, and Ramon Gutierrez thinking that he's got time for one more. Ultimate rolls out of the way. The defense continues. Ultimate Frankensteiner. And Gutierrez mashed him with a power bomb, but that's time. That is time. It's a draw. Oh my God. It's a draw in a #1 contenders match. And it's unbelievable. I've never seen it before. And we thought Storm had a lot of questions about their world champion. Well, right now, our Apex champion is looking at a lot of questions himself. Absolutely incredible. Hey, don't you two be getting any ideas. Neither of you deserve to be a #1 contender. You think a couple upsets put you on this level? You get to be an Apex champion through years of work, through years of back-breaking training, through intelligence. That's how you become an Apex champion. You need people behind you, and you need men down in front of you. And just 3 upset wins, if you want to call it that, doesn't prove anything. In my mind, you two are as close to being Apex champion as Ulysses Sky.